Today on the sales life, it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. And you can't get to new places doing come from things. Stay tuned. All right, TSL, let's get it. If you're seasoned like me, dude, I ain't old. But if you're seasoned like me and you listen to hip hop growing up, then you remember Rakim, Eric B. and Rakim. And Rakim had a phrase that he coined. It's not where you come from, it's where you're at. And think about that. Dude, I used to say those words. It's not where you come from, it's where you're at. But I never really took those things, I never really digested them. What does that mean exactly? Think about what that means in your life. It's not where you come from, it's where you're at. And see, every single day, what you're working to right now, you're working to get at someplace. See, this in your mind, as you start the year, you've created at places. This is where I want to be. This is what success looks like for me. Here's what I want to accomplish this year. Yet you're not going to ever get there doing come from things, hanging with come from people, acting come from ways, working at a come from job. It's never going to happen for you. It's never going to happen for you. See, what you're going to have to do, if you want to if you want to get to a level of success, then what you're going to have to do is, bro, you got to change your environment. You have to. And this is why most people don't ever achieve success. This is why people who hit success end up sabotaging themselves and revert back to where they came from. It's because they were in a new location, but they didn't change the environment. You have to be willing to change your environment. And most people will not change the environment because it's super, super scary. This is why you see people that I've seen where the clouds open up for people and they finally got away. Maybe they were in a neighborhood that was dangerous and they finally got their break to get out of the neighborhood. Yet they didn't take it. And they stayed in a situation or an environment that was familiar. And they stayed right there. That's what's super scary for people. Change is scary. And if you want to change your environment, then what that means is, dude, that means that you're going to have to detach. It means that you're going to have to struggle. That's what that is. And most people don't want to struggle. Most people would rather, even though they don't like the results that they have right now, they would rather the familiarity, even though it's not the right result, but it's familiar, versus facing the scary abyss of change and struggle and no certainty. I want you to change your environment, but I want you to know that when you change your environment, it's not just making a decision. It means that you're willing to immerse yourself in that environment, even though you feel like you don't belong, even though you get the sneers and jeers from others, even though you have people behind you that you are leaving behind because they're toxic to your life. They're saying, Marsh, what are you doing this for? You don't have to explain it. I just need you to be it. And I need you to keep going back to this environment. And if you're waiting for your mind to convince you, it'll never. Your mind is only going to convince you on what's already happened, what's already familiar. That's the only thing. Your mind looks for patterns. To conserve energy, your mind looks for patterns and stays within those patterns. So that way I don't have to create new synapses. I don't have to create new wirings. And so when you change your environment, that means that you literally, it's like if I pull down these walls right now and expose the wires and I cut them, those wires, the loose ends, And what you've got to be able to do is you got to take different wires from over here and reconnect them or connect them to something different. Otherwise, you're always going to revert back. This means that you got to detach. This means that your mind is going to tell you, hey, go back, go back, go back. I want you to change your environment and keep going back to that new environment. Whatever the results that are conducive to whatever results that you want to see, that's the environment that you need to put yourself in. And that means that there's power in your first reach. What's the new environment what's the result that you want to see? If it's something that you want to lose weight, if it's something that you want to achieve some massive success. See, bro, I can't be a millionaire with a penny mentality. I got to put myself in that environment. That means I have to show myself approved. That means that I have to think and I have to speak and I have to study. What's the first thing I'm going to do? Am I going home to turn on the TV to watch millionaire athletes, $1 million athletes? Am I going to watch them, or will I turn it off and change the environment? When you come home, do you grab a pair of jogging shoes and take off running out the door? Or do you grab that beer because it's been a long day? It's environment. It's environment. And if you want new results, then you must change new environments. It's like going into a foreign city. You could learn that language before you go to the foreign city, but you won't truly know that language until you immerse yourself in the customs and the culture of that city. It's where you don't understand what they're doing. You don't understand the customs. You don't fully understand what they're doing. But all of a sudden, as you watch, then you start embodying those cultures. You start doing what they're doing. You start thinking the way that they're thinking. You start using phrases like they use. You start doing the actions that they do. And you become a part of the new land, of the new culture. I'm going to leave you with this. If where you are right now, if it feels comfortable, you're in the wrong environment. But if you feel uncomfortable, you're in the right environment. And I want you to keep showing back up in that unfamiliar environment. Feels weird, don't feel right. I don't know if I belong here. Yes, you do. If you feel like you don't belong, it's because you belong. If you feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be here, you need to level up, change your environment, change your results, and never go back. Remember, the greatest sale that you will ever make is to sell you on you, because you're more than enough. Stay amazing. Have an amazing weekend. Stay in the sales life.